To get to my point, as I've said before, I'm not a politician. So I don't have the political experience, but I have more know how in my little finger than most of these experienced politicians do in their whole damn bodies. For many years, I've lived off and on in Reno since 1998. I've seen it go from a thriving metropolis, just a majorly thriving city, to a drug infested, homeless infested shithole in just the last few years since Mayor Sheev has been elected. Needles all over the ground, homeless sleeping in public parks. I mean, I can't even take my kids to a playground anymore because there might be some homeless man or woman sleeping on the damn jungle gyms. So, what makes a good city? Well, I think the biggest thing, the most important thing in making a good city is community action. Okay? Which is why I want to organize specific community events, community action groups, and things like that. First of all, I want to hold public community events at least once a month to help organize the town together, okay? And to get ideas from the people themselves. See what you would want from your city. I'm not going to be like the current mayor who just bases what she thinks the people want based on her own wants. So I would be more like I'd want to know what you want out of your city. What would you like to see done? So the types of groups I would like to organize. Well, first I want a citizens street patrol. This is a street patrol group of regular citizens that will go out and patrol and oversee the street police. They're going to help prevent corruption and constitutional violations because if they spot a constitutional violation, they will have the authority over the police to run in and exercise their authority and tell the officer that's not how you do it. Then I want a resource patrol. A patrol group that will go out and basically take things like donated food, blankets, and stuff to any homeless that are sleeping in the park. Okay? And help them find the resources they need, like directions to the temporary shelters and transitional housing, as well as stopping the police from harassing them and treating them like they are subhuman. That's the worst thing. Homeless people are people just like you and me. Okay? Anybody can fall under unfortunate circumstances and one day end up homeless. Even you, or you, or you, or you could all end up homeless. So, I also want a public relations group that will go out on the streets, meet and greet the people, and ask the residents what would make their city better. What would they like to see from their city? I also want a public street cleanup group, a group of volunteers to literally go into parks and alleys and clean up the drug needles, paint over the graffiti and all the gang tags, and send resource patrol in the direction of any homeless. Help them get to the community shelters and transitional housings. Okay? So, why does the current mayor fail us? For many years, Mayor Sheev has accepted payoffs from certain lobbyists. In exchange, she's been closing down the weekly and monthly budget motels, which were housing to many people on Social Security, disability, or even working people who are working full-time but only making minimum wage. This added to our already growing homeless problem, and this left people without options for reliable and affordable housing, with the average rent in Reno on a one-bedroom apartment being $1,000 or more. Where does that leave the people who make less than $1,000 a month? Is it saying that they're going to have to double up, 2, maybe 3 people in a one-bedroom apartment just to get by? I mean, come on. It's the closing of the motels that have forced people to live in the streets. Some people that I know personally, personal friends of mine, now live on the streets because of the greed of Mayor Sheev. The colleges have wanted to buy those properties for years and turn them into student housing. They have paid off the mayor to make sure that she finds reasons to close them. And then she uses unconstitutional practices like the motel interdiction team to literally go in, violate people's Fourth Amendment privacy rights, and in a lot of cases end up displacing people and putting them out on the streets due to the lack of affordable housing. People sleeping on the streets is ruining the tourism in Reno. This used to be a big tourist town, so our tourism is being ruined by people sleeping on the streets. Okay? Tourists don't want to come to a town if there's somebody in a sleeping bag on every corner. Sorry, I'm back. I was starting to overheat with my jacket on. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. Hold on. So back to what I was saying about the current mayor. This used to be a thriving city with lots of urban beauty. But lately, it's been decaying and falling apart between the drug needles, the graffiti, and all of this. I mean, this city is just literally turning to shit. And Mayor Sheev, she doesn't care. She just continues to use her position as leader of our city as a way of making herself famous worldwide. Rather than working for the people, she only works for herself. We need a mayor that will work for the people. Someone who will put the people's needs before their own. Our streets are in disrepair, but the mayor and the city council continue to fail to properly fund the road repair crews. However, I bet there are jobs within this city that could be eliminated to save money. I'll bet Mayor Sheev has probably given these cushy little positions to a lot of her friends. So, anyway, city taxes and fines imposed on people. They should be based on your income. Those who can afford more will pay more. You got somebody who's making $3,500 a month, his taxes should be up more than somebody who, say, is making only $1,000 a month. And it should be allowed for smoke shops to apply for the licenses they need to distribute cannabis to the consumers in Reno. It should be made easier to get licenses to open dispensaries in Reno. It should also be easy to get small business licenses and tax ID numbers for an individual citizen who wants to open his own business and finally work for himself rather than somebody else. All city council meetings should be broadcast on television and radio by local stations as an effort towards transparency. And once a month, the mayor should hold a people's forum where the residents of the town's voices can be heard by all the city officials on the council, as well as the mayor themselves and the chief of police. And these are all things that I want to see done within this city of Reno, Nevada. This city is fantastic, okay? I've never lived in a city I've loved more. But I have to admit, I hate the police corruption. I hate the crooked mayor. I hate the homeless problem. I hate the fact that this city's drug infested. We really need to work together and make Nevada great again for love of our country and battle born. Peace out. Till next time, you can all put that in your pipe and smoke it. Peace.